I'm Jason Debly, and today's whiskey review is Tomatin 18-year-old single malt Scotch. Got a box right here. I was down in Houston, Texas, visiting some family, and I picked up this bottle down there for the grand price of $93 US, which would be about 200 Canadian. Well, not really. It would be about 30% more. It's 46% alcohol by volume. From the Highland region of Scotland. I think, if I'm wrong, correct me, make a comment. It is aged for 15 years in American oak, ex-bourbon casks, Maker's Mark Distillery purportedly. After 15 years, the spirit is transferred from American oak into Spanish Oloroso sherry casks for additional 3 years. So that makes for a good combination. But it all comes down to the quality of the wood, maybe even the quality of the spirit that used to be in those previous casks. I think it was sherry butts for the Oloroso sherry, and cork stopper, and I think American hogsheads. I don't believe there's any E150. The color is quite light for an 18-year-old, or maybe it's normal for an 18-year-old, because we're so familiar with dark whiskeys with that age statement, or even younger. Tomatin Distillery, a little bit about it. They're a big producer. Historically, their single malt went into blends. You didn't see them really showcase their single malts on their own. Lately, there's been a change in management, and they have been promoting their single malts. I've tried the 14-year-old port finish one. Excellent. Brilliant stuff. So I had high expectations for the 18-year-old. I tried the 18-year-old a few years ago, and I was impressed with it. So when I was in Houston, I thought, in a great city, try a great malt. On the nose, it is powerful. There's a bit of a punch to it. Red fruit. You smell the sherry, of course. Kind of has a winey note, like Cabernet Sauvignon. We'll try it neat first, and then we'll add a little bit of water. Because it's 46% alcohol by volume, you know, a little bit of water might be a good thing. On the palate. Sweet. You're definitely getting the sherry influence. It's got a lot of sherry influence for a mere 3 years of aging in sherry casks. The sherry transfers or transitions, and the finish, first let's deal with the palate. You have sherry, you have red fruit, red licorice, but then mid-palate there is Tarragon. It's like Montreal steak spice coming in there. It's woody. And on the finish, tarragon, sage, rosemary, mixed in with that sherry and wood. And the wood is damp. You know, a summer savory, if you know what that is. I'm getting that. And after you swallow it, there is a smoky effect on the palate. This is not really a peated whiskey. I don't think it's peated hardly at all. And you're left with a bit of stale cigarette. I'm not impressed with this. It's not horrible. It's very reminiscent of Tobermory, another distillery. It reminds me of I think a 19 or 21-year-old Tobermory malt that I had a few years ago and also wasn't really impressed with. Let's try with a little bit of water. mean, it's 46%. Yeah. I find a little bit of water with this whiskey is better. Maybe 3 or 4 drops. The water improves it, but now you have a bit of a, I hate to say it, cherry Coke finish coming on. This is not a complex whiskey. It's kind of simple. It's red licorice with a lot of sherry, and then a finish that's woody and oaky with some, like I said, steak spice in Canada, Montreal steak spice, Lea Perrins in Europe. Almost HP sauce. It's disappointing. The only thing I'll say in defense of Tomatin 18-year-old is, when I bought this in Houston, there had been a bad storm, so the power went out at the liquor store, and so the temperature soared in the liquor store, probably to about 100, 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Could that have made a difference with this bottle? I don't know. Inside the bottle, or the container, there's a little bit of mold. But, because in Houston, the mold will come as soon as the air conditioning's gone. But the bottle is totally sealed. And I don't think that difference in temperature would affect this taste. The seal was perfect when I got this bottle. It's only been open maybe a month and a half. I'm disappointed. So Tomatin, 18-year-old, $93 US. I wouldn't buy this unless it was 50% off and I had kind of moderate expectations. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you again soon. Take care.